Alright guys, I'm watching Rodtang versus Demetrious Johnson on this one championship fight. Now, I'm not going to lie, I know the outcome of this. I haven't seen the fight though, so this is a great opportunity for me to watch it. You guys will see my reaction in real time. Let's get into it. Like I said, I know what happens, but I want to see it play out. Ooh, he looked like he caught him well with that hook. Rodtang caught Johnson. See, it's funny, I see Demetrious Johnson throwing push kicks, teeps. He has no risk of being this. So, as far as I understand, this first round is only stand-up striking, so it doesn't matter if he goes down this round. He knows he's not going to, well, probably thinks it's very unlikely he's going to win a stand-up striking match with Rodtang. So he can be as awkward and risky with his strikes as he wants, as long as he stays protected himself. So he's not worried about losing on points. I'm just going to pause this quickly. This is really interesting. So a lot of people probably don't understand this about this, or maybe they do, maybe they haven't thought about it, but Johnson isn't worried about looking awkward or not winning this round, right? He's not going for that. He's throwing a lot of Hail Mary sort of stuff. It's not about winning this round. It's completely about survival. So it doesn't matter if he throws awkward stuff. It doesn't matter if he's stumbling off to the side. It doesn't matter if he maybe falls over, as long as he doesn't get knocked out, as long as he doesn't get knocked down. Like, obviously there is a thing of, actually, I'm not sure how this is going to be scored even. Because as far as I know, one championship, I don't know whether this is all the time or sometimes, but they'll score the fight over the whole fight and not round by round. So I'm not sure, I should research this, but he obviously doesn't want to be knocked down and then he now has too many points he needs to make up for, you know what I mean? So he's concerned about that, but he knows that he's not going to beat Rodtang. He knows it's very unlikely that he's going to beat Rodtang in a striking match. So right now, his tactics is pure survival and maybe give Rodtang something to think about on the way in, where he's, be careful coming in, right? Like, I'll be throwing crazy stuff, so be careful coming in, and that's almost like a deterrent for Rodtang to just come in completely. This is Rodtang. He's not really scared of anything. But that's, in my mind, that's what he's doing right now. He's like, Rodtang comes in hard, cover up as tight as you can, don't get knocked out, survive the 3 minutes until the next round when you can get some hands on him and take him down and do your thing. Throwing some nice little feints. This Johnson looks a little bit more settled now, but see right there, just cover up, don't get knocked out. That's his strategy right now.
You can see DJ's having a little bit of difficulty with the Muay Thai rule set. He keeps clinching and trying to look for a tie-up, but Rodtang is doing a great job.
That referee was like a matador, he did really well. Really well not to get taken out. Rodtang he actually wore a decent shot right there, just because now this is another piece of it. Rodtang is in a hurry to get him out of there, because he knows once he goes into the second round, the script flips completely. So Rodtang's in a hurry, which when you're in a hurry, sometimes you get caught. You get clipped with stuff. Super interesting tactics from both guys. Ooh. Johnson's not a great Muay Thai clincher, but he's actually utilizing his wrestling really, really well to not allow Rodtang to use his clinch like super dominantly. He's winning those clinch exchanges. If you look at it from Muay Thai perspective, Rodtang is winning those clinching exchanges. But Johnson's doing a pretty decent job in there, considering that I doubt he's spent anywhere near as long in the Muay Thai clinch as Rodtang has. And it is different. It is different. Nice kick, but Rodtang just giving him like 3 punches for any punch that Johnson lands out of the first round. So let's see. My gut is Rodtang is going to be on his bicycle this round and just trying as hard as he can to stay on his feet and not get taken down. Like, I know Rodtang would have trained. He would have done some ground game for this. He would have tried to, done some wrestling and some, maybe some basic jiu-jitsu. But there is just unless he's been doing it for years in secret, there's too big of a skill gap on the ground for him to learn enough, in my opinion. And I know what happens. I know what happens in this fight, so I won't give too much away. My gut feeling is he's going to be very, very evasive. I haven't seen it. I do know the outcome, though. I do know the result. Yeah, look at that. Straight away. I mean, it's no surprise, is it? Now, Johnson has to be considered as well of what will he eat on the way in. What strike? Because you can't just charge forward with your head leaning in. Especially someone like Rodtang, who has absolute knockout power. A little feint, you see that? So responsive, Rodtang, so responsive to that little feint of shooting a takedown. But see now, look, even in this position right here, Rodtang, he hasn't got his feet set, so, oh look at that. It's hard to land that knockout power when you're so high on your toes. It's usually when you set down, and Rodtang likes to be coming forward heavier on his feet instead of on his toes moving backwards like this. Now he's got his... It looks like he's going for some sort of half Nelson. Yeah, I think he's trying to link his hands behind Rodtang's head to break him down. He doesn't even need to get that hand behind the head. He still manages to get him. Nice tracking of the arm. Jeez, I wonder how much time Rodtang spent in this position in training. I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall in Rodtang's training camp for this fight. Just how do you prepare? His chin's not in. Geez, that would be so painful. Now he's under the chin. That would have been so painful for Rodtang, just getting his jaw crushed like that. Jeez, he's holding out. He's out. He's out. Tell you what, he held out for a long time. Being in that position with the arm underneath your chin, straight around your neck, he did well to continue to fight for that long. I'm telling you, it is a matter of seconds. Like, sometimes it's fractions of a second before the lights start to go dim. I tell you what, Rodtang should be thankful. I love Rodtang, but he should be thankful that Demetrious Johnson choked him and didn't grab an arm or a leg. Because I think, in my mind, Rodtang would be quite unlikely to tap. So he might have saved him some potential major injuries by choosing to go for his neck rather than grabbing an arm and trying to, break an arm, or rather than grabbing a heel and trying to, break a knee with a heel hook. So you know, if Rodtang isn't thankful, I think he definitely should be. And perhaps that was Johnson might have thought, you know what, my best bet is to put him to sleep because, you know, you can't, like, you can fight with a broken arm, you can fight with a torn knee. You know, so he's like, look, first thing, most likelihood of getting him out there is going to be with a choke instead of like breaking and doing some damage to his arm, and he just fights through it because Rodtang's tough and then manages to land that shot that's going to knock him out in the third round, you know, which absolutely is a very, very good good game plan by Demetrious Johnson. What a fun fight. So, yeah, I enjoyed that one. I wonder if they're going to do more of these. I'm interested in it. I liked it. I liked seeing, you know, the dynamic of who's in control and who's on the back foot and during what round. I really enjoyed that. So I'd definitely be keen to see more fights like that. Thanks for watching, guys. Let me know in the comments what you thought. Yeah, let me know who you think would be a really interesting matchup between, you know, someone to fight Rodtang, another MMA fighter, you know, that Rodtang might beat. You know, maybe their wrestling isn't as good. That's an interesting one, actually, now that I think about it, is like which top MMA fighters would Rodtang actually beat if these rules were the same? And to me, the answer is strikers who do well in MMA, because maybe their takedowns aren't good enough to actually get Rodtang down within that 3 minutes. So, you know, maybe that's the answer. Like maybe Rodtang would get them down. You know, like a guy like Israel Adesanya, who isn't known for his takedowns but great striking, you know, and then you've got Rodtang where their striking is quite similar. You know, they're like, in terms of, there wouldn't be as big of a skill gap between a good MMA striker and Rodtang, but then on the ground or the MMA side, there wouldn't be as big as a skill gap either, because if they're a striker, they're probably mostly focusing on takedown defense and not offense. So interesting one to think about. So anyway, see you guys. Thank you. Thanks for watching.